I want to tell you about a patient whose family was told he would likely need a wheelchair for the rest of his life. 6 months later, he walked out of our clinic on his own 2 feet. This is his story. I am Raj from Kinesio Rehab, and this case taught me something I'll never forget about the power of neuroplasticity and the importance of never giving up. He was in his early 60s when the stroke hit, a hemorrhagic stroke that damaged the motor cortex on the left side of his brain. When I first assessed him about 3 weeks post stroke, his right side was almost completely paralyzed. He couldn't move his right arm, he couldn't move his right leg, he couldn't speak clearly. His family was devastated. The first thing I told his wife was this: the brain has an incredible ability to rewire itself, but we need to start intensive rehabilitation immediately. Every day matters in the first 3 to 6 months. Month 1 was humbling. We worked on the most basic things. Could he shift his weight while sitting? Could he feel when I moved his leg? Could he attempt to grip my finger with his right hand? Progress was measured in millimeters. Some days he couldn't do what he'd done the day before. His wife would ask me, "Is he getting worse?" And I'd explain, "Recovery is not linear, it zigzags. The trend is what matters." Month 2 brought the first breakthrough. He could lift his right arm a few centimeters off the bed. That doesn't sound like much, but neurologically, it meant his brain was finding new pathways. The damaged motor cortex wasn't recovering, healthy brain tissue was learning to take over its job. We celebrated that moment like a championship victory, because that's exactly what it was. Month 3, he stood with support for the first time since the stroke. His wife cried, he cried. Honestly, I had to hold it together myself. Standing meant his brain had reconnected enough pathways to his leg muscles to bear weight. The door to walking had just opened. Months 4 and 5 were the hardest work. Standing progressed to stepping with a walker, stepping progressed to walking with supervision. Every session was exhausting for him, but he showed up every single day. His wife drove him to the clinic or we came to their home. Rain or shine, that consistency was everything. Month 6, he walked independently for the first time. No walker, no support. Slowly, carefully, but independently. The man who was told he'd need a wheelchair walked across our clinic floor on his own. He's not back to how he was before the stroke. That's an honest reality of stroke recovery. Most patients don't return to 100%. But he walks, he feeds himself, he speaks clearly enough to have conversations. He's independent, and that independence is everything. This story isn't about me, it's about his determination, his family's support, and the remarkable capacity of the human brain to heal. But it's also about timing. If his family had waited months to start rehabilitation, the outcome could have been very different. If someone you love has had a stroke, start rehabilitation as early as possible. WhatsApp 012 934 9471 or visit kinesiorehab.com.my. The brain can rebuild, but it needs help, and it needs it now. I'm Raj. Tomorrow, Mamak workers. Why 12-hour shifts on concrete floors destroy your body. See you then.